morning, everyone, to the City of East Chicago's radio show right here, live on WJOB. And joining us today is Keith Selvie, our Public Works Director, and William Allen, our City Engineer. How you guys doing?
Good. How about yourself?
Busy. We're gearing up for the State of City Address, the Mayor Anthony Copeland's State of the City Address on April 4th at Ameristar Casino. And if you want more information on that, you can call our office at 391-8206, and that is hosted by the Chamber of Commerce in Hammond, Indiana. So tell us, what's going on in East Chicago? We'll first start out with you, Keith.
Sure.
I understand we have a spring cleanup
Yes.
that the city does every year.
Yep. Basically, it's the annual spring clean. The spring clean basically is an opportunity for the Public Works Department to go district by district and basically remove all the debris, all the trash, all the rubbish that is accumulated over the winter. We actually sweep the streets. We also actually ask that the residents actually get involved by bagging up any loose trash or debris that's around their actual property. And we'll be in that particular district for 1 week, at which point in time you can, bag your stuff up and we can come out and get it.
So what are you allowed to throw out? I mean,
Well, this is an opportunity for you to pretty much come to Jesus. You can actually throw anything out. We'll have rubbish crews out, so if you have old furniture, anything that you actually want to throw out, you can actually put it out in the alley or the actual streetway on that particular week, and we'll remove it for you.
so which can you give us the dates on when everything's rolling out?
Sure.
I understand you're going district by district.
Sure. So basically, spring clean starts April 1st in District 4, April 1st to April 5th. District 6 will be April 8th to April 12th. District 2 will be April 15th to April 19th. District 3 will be April 22nd to the 26th. Then we'll be moving over to the 5th District, April 29th through May 3rd. And finally, we'll finish up in the 1st District, and that'll be May 6th through May 10th.
Okay, that's wonderful. Now, is there any cost to the residents for this?
No, not at all. Again, this is our opportunity for Public Works to come out and interact with the residents of East Chicago. A city is only as good as its citizens. You get an opportunity to get your streets cleaned, as well as to make a beautiful city.
Yeah, and you know what? That is a challenge. I'll be honest with you. You do have one of the toughest jobs, and I can tell he's going a lot more gray ever since he started.
It's that presidential look.
Yeah, it's looking good though. It's looking good. I will say, look, there's Burley. Hi, Burley. We're good. But one of the things I notice is you do a lot.
Correct.
Tell us a little bit about your job. Or you. Just tell us a little bit about you. I know you came back to East Chicago.
Correct. So I was born and raised here in East Chicago, and went to Bishop Nolan Institute, went down to Indiana University. My folks still reside here. They've been here going on 50 years.
Oh,
So,
wow.
but yeah, going back into what my responsibilities are, I wear multiple hats, as most of us do in the city of East Chicago. But streets and sanitation, we are in charge of potholes. We're in charge of removing snow. I also have the responsibility of maintaining all our vehicles. We also do building maintenance for all the city-owned buildings as well. So sometimes it's a challenge. One of the things I say is I have multiple seasons. It never stops. So we come out of snow, we go into pothole season. We come out of pothole season, we go into cutting grass. That's another thing that's really huge. We have a bunch of properties, so we have to maintain those. But yeah, it's a challenge, but I really enjoy my job.
I see you got a fleet of new vehicles recently.
Yes.
How was that?
Yes.
I know Mayor Copeland's real heavy on keeping the city clean. That's like one of his pet peeves. I would see him.
And that's a challenge. And again, City of East Chicago residents, we behoove you as Public Works to give us some assistance. Again, a city is only as clean as its citizens, and at which point in time we welcome any help you can give us in keeping up with your debris, your trash around your actual private property, disregarding it in the alley, in the actual toters is big. And again, we welcome that. So we want to interact a lot more with the actual city instead of us just trying to clean the city. We want help doing it.
Okay, that's good. Now, after the spring cleanup, if someone wants to just dispose of something,
Sure.
who do they call or what do they
So,
do?
so basically, if you have a request, there are a couple different methods. You can talk about the 311 and so forth, but you can definitely call our office at 219-391-8463. What we'll do is we'll create a work order, and we'll come out and pick up anything that has been discarded in the alley behind your property.
And speaking of, he brought up our 311 application, and what we have is we have a phone app for iPhone and Android. It's called ECWorks 311. All you have to do is download it, and you can report issues, whether it be trash or if you see anything, something in your alley, any city issue. It'll allow you to take a photo, report it to the proper department. All you have to do is create a little account, and then it'll get routed to the proper department, and then they'll send you a notification saying they acknowledged your submission, and then it'll keep you informed as to the progress of the project or the problem, should I say. The other day we had they didn't use 311, but they used our Facebook page and sent us a message that there was a giant tree down in Washington Park. Did you end up getting that message?
Yes, we did. We were informed of it. We have what we call a tree crew that goes out and does the removal and stumping of trees. It looked like a perfectly healthy tree, but it actually came down.
That wind was something else. It was a big tree. Some resident just filmed it walking through the park, and no one would have known about it unless the resident had reported it.
Correct.
Thank God for social media and the internet, should I say.
Right.
But we have, is there anything else coming up in the summer for Public Works?
Again, we're about to gear up for our lot maintenance. Lot maintenance basically is the cleaning of our city lots, our parks, and what we call special locations like the actual centers and so forth. So that season will begin in approximately about 2 to 3 weeks. We at Public Works do a lot of the work, but we also have some subcontractors to come out and actually assist because of the amount of properties that we do have.
Well, that's great. That's great. Well, I'm going to move on to William Allen. How you doing? You seem pretty quiet today, man. Are you all right? You
I'm
waking
good.
up?
I'm good.
You have your cup of coffee this morning?
No coffee yet.
Oh, okay. That's wonderful.
I'm a Red Bull guy.
Well, joining us is William Allen, our city engineer, and I see we had a lot of resurfacing projects last year. How many streets got done last year?
Over 12 streets.
Over 12 streets.
Throughout East Chicago.
How much money did we end up?
Around $3.2 million.
Wow, $3.2 million in investment on resurfacing our streets. Now, spring is coming up, and of course, that means construction season's coming up, right?
Yep.
That means all the barricades all over the streets.
Pardon our dust.
Move around. But the end result is something wonderful. So what's going on in East Chicago that residents would have to be aware of coming up?
Yeah, there are a lot of things being planned out, a lot of things that are happening right now. For example, reconstructions that comes from the engineering department. Starts out in the design phase, and we see it all the way through and manage the project. Examples are Homerly from Columbus Drive to 145th. That's going to be a complete reconstruction, which means all the asphalt, the concrete sidewalks, curbs, and all the underground infrastructure will be replaced. This is the water mains, your sewers, or the combined sanitation or storm will all be brand new. Same thing for Walsh from 148 to Koski Boulevard. Some of the things that we are planning is Indianapolis Boulevard, which sits around $15 million in total.
Wow.
This will span from Columbus Drive all the way to Michigan Street. This will be somewhat of a reconstruction. We're replacing the water main, replacing all the asphalt and the concrete. Something that's still being planned out is what we do with the sewers. We are working with the state and the Army Corps. They are providing funds to assist with this project. But yeah, resurfacing jobs and reconstruction jobs, those are the biggest projects that come out of the engineering department.
So now, I noticed, you know how they have Highland and Hammond, how the street is wide. How is that gonna? Is it gonna be the same in East Chicago or?
So we'll be doing surveys, having conversations with the state. They are proposing reducing the lane sizes or numbers. Right now, what you have is 2 lanes going in each direction. What they're proposing is 1 lane going in each direction with a center lane dedicated to turning. So 3 lanes total. This will be from Columbus Drive to Chicago Avenue, and then 148 to I believe 151st Street. So those will be the stretches where the lane numbers will be decreased, but they're going to keep the same lane numbers near the railroad tracks, near Chicago Avenue, to accommodate for all the traffic.
Okay.
So that's still being discussed, though. Nothing is final. But at the end of the day, this is a state-owned road.
That's great. I'm glad. Indianapolis Boulevard, to be honest with you, has been really bad.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I know. We get the phone calls.
Full of potholes.
Yep.
And, oh my gosh. You know, I went out and took some pictures one time because it was just so bad. I had to see it for real. You know, but I'm glad it's finally getting done. You know, like I said, it's our main thoroughfare through our city, and how much traffic does it get?
It actually gets a decent amount of traffic, but actually less than Columbus Drive.
Really?
Believe it or not, yeah.
Never would believe that. I don't know why. It looks busy here going down this street. I figured it'd be the same thing, but
Oh, and actually, I forgot to mention. I'm sorry. Good news for the railroad tracks. We get a lot of phone calls
you gotta hear
about
this clap right now. Oh my gosh.
that's something that's also being factored in to be improved / replaced when it comes to this Indianapolis Boulevard project.
Yeah, them tracks right there, man. I don't even go right there.
Yes.
You go around.
Yes.
Oh man. I wish I could pick my poor little car up on those tracks. Those are bad. Those are probably the worst ones in the city.
Yeah.
And I know it's because it gets a lot of
It's a lot of
wear and
traffic.
tear, yeah. And I know they get replaced every so often. A lot of times residents are like, you know, I get lots of complaints about that track, especially on
Yes.
Indianapolis Boulevard. We get messages all the time.
Yes.
And it's good to hear that it's going to finally get replaced. But tell us, engineering can't just do streets, right? I mean, you're involved in other projects. What other things are going on? I know we're building a new stage at the lakefront. That's just about complete, correct? Or it is complete?
I think it'll be completed by the end of this month, correct?
Correct.
Keith is mostly managing that job.
Oh, we're jumping back to Keith. That's great.
Actually, it's our new consultant, Doug, that's actually handling that. My project is Black Stadium. I've been moved back to Black Stadium and the completion of Black Stadium.
Oh, yeah. That's the next thing we're going to talk about. But really quick, how soon do you think the stage will be completed? Do you have that info?
You know what? I believe it's going to be really soon. If it's not the end of this month, for sure, it'll definitely be in the middle of next.
Well, that's great. So we'll have concerts at the lakefront in full steam.
Yes.
Thank God. It looks gorgeous. I took some pictures of it the other day.
Yes.
It is a great addition to all the other amenities that are happening at our lakefront. You're going to see a lot of fun activities happening at our lakefront. I mean,
Yes.
we've got jet skis, paddle boats, and all kind of other stuff that, you know, residents and visitors can take, part of.
And we're actually improving the electrical capacity in that area to accommodate for additional vendors and festivities out there as well.
Oh, that's great, because that was always a challenge,
Yes.
you know, for vendors, where do you hook up and all that stuff. But now we're gearing that towards festivals, and we want to have all our festivals there. So it'll be more friendly for all those people that are going to be participating in our festival. That's great news to hear. Now, Black Stadium, man, I drive by it every day and I get so excited.
Yes,
I was just with Ralph yesterday,
yes,
and he's been working on the website for Black Stadium,
yes.
and he makes little posts every day of the progress. But tell us a little bit about the project.
Um, First of all, I want to thank Mayor Anthony Copeland. He actually allocated $5 million for that particular project.
Wow.
Baseball, it was a staple for East Chicago and it had gone away a little bit, but he saw a vision in getting that back by actually doing the enhancements back at Block Stadium. So where we are right now, we're currently in phase 2, which is the expanding of the dugouts. That will be completed probably right around about the end of the month, 29th or so. And then we'll be moving into phase 3, which basically is the construction of the concession stand, the entryway, and we have some VIP seating that is going to actually be installed. The field itself is pretty much complete. We have a little bit of more irrigation that we have to install just because the vendors are working in those areas. But I think if you look at it this time next year, you're going to be very satisfied.
Oh, I'm already satisfied. It looks great so far. I went down there the other day to take some photos, and I was just like, man, this is one of 15 classic baseball stadiums left in the country.
Absolutely, and it's a great structure. If I may, it was actually constructed back in 1942 by Inland Steel. So you had a steel company actually, building a baseball stadium. So it's sturdy. And then at which point in time it's open, and you don't see that too often now. So it's a good atmosphere. I can't wait for us to have some baseball there. The expected completion date is going to be right around this time next year. So if all goes well with the weather, you'll be seeing some baseball at this time next year in Black Stadium.
Yeah, that's great. It's always good news to hear. I do have a couple announcements. We do have a biannual career fair coming up on April 10th, and that begins at 10 a.m. and goes till 2 p.m. And that's on a Wednesday, and that'll be at our East Chicago Police Department. So if you're looking for a job, make sure to come on down and see us April 10th at the police station. You bring your resume. They have over 40 vendors that are going to be there, or I'm saying employers looking for people to hire. Who knows? They've hired a couple people on the spot last time. It's great. We're going to have 2 of these a year, and last year's was a big success. We had a lot of people come out, and I'm looking forward to this year's. We also have our annual Easter egg hunt on April 13th, and that will be at, I believe, was it Washington Park? And that begins at 12 p.m. and it goes till 3 p.m. And kids there, there'll be prizes, there'll be games. That's run by our park department. It's always a great event. I encourage you to participate with your kids. And on April 26th, we have our Arbor Day celebration, which is on a Friday, and that starts at 10:30 a.m. And that will be in, I think it's Marktown. So if you want to come help and plant a tree with us, we're going to be there. We dedicated a tree last year to someone, and I'm not sure who we're dedicating it to this year, but we also have Cinco de Mayo coming up, and
Yes.
we're having a nice celebration at the East Chicago Marina, and that's going to begin at 5 p.m. and go till 8 p.m. There's going to be a DJ, there's going to be food, I think tacos and stuff like that. So make sure you make your way down to the Chicago Marina and celebrate Cinco de Mayo with us. I think we're celebrating is that a Friday? Correct? Yes, it is. It's a Friday, May 3rd. I know everyone's got their Cinco de Mayo parties happening.
Yeah.
But this year, we're also, I want to encourage families to come out to our movie nights. We have some amazing movie nights. Our first one will be on May 23rd, and that is, I want to say Hotel Transylvania. It is Hotel Transylvania 3. and that's going to be at Todd Park. The movies usually begin at dusk, and we have free popcorn for the kids and all that stuff. So make sure you check our website on ECTV and just get all our information on our upcoming events. We also are featured in this year's State Festival Guide. So if you want a copy of the festival guide, just come to either the mayor's office or our multimedia office. We're located at 400 East Chicago Avenue. And you can take as many as you want. All of our local events are in there, and all the surrounding communities events are in there as well. We encourage visitors from outside of East Chicago. If you haven't been to East Chicago, you got to check it out. It is really coming up. There's a lot of new progress happening. Today, we are glad to finally the Dialysis Center on Main Street, which is a big project. You know, it took an old abandoned building right in the first block of Main Street, and we turned it around. We worked with the company hand in hand. So we'll have a ribbon cutting today at 12:30. So if you're listening, come on down at 12:30, and then they're going to have an open house right after that. The mayor will be cutting the ribbon with Fresenius is the company, and we really look forward to new business popping up in East Chicago. I can't wait for the Fitzsimmons grand opening, which is another project that's just down. Was it another block or so?
2 blocks. Yep.
2 blocks.
Another 2 blocks, and that is a major project, which is mixed use. It'll be retail downstairs and residential living upstairs. I heard there's loft apartments, right?
Yeah, right along 138th Street. Yeah, townhomes.
I've always wanted to live in a loft apartment. You know, for real.
Good view.
It's
See
really,
Unity Plaza right across the street.
really cool, cool living space, should I say? And I believe there's already a vendor that's going in there.
I believe so. Yes.
We haven't announced who it is yet. I have no idea, but I'm just happy that it's happening. Like I said, if you haven't had an opportunity, make sure you like us on Facebook and tune in to us next time on WJOB. Is there anything else we got?
Just in closing, I just want to again reiterate our district our district cleanup schedule. Please go to our social outlets to actually see the times and the dates. It's going to be from 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. daily. And again, this is an opportunity for us to make our city a beautiful place to live. So please assist the Public Works Department in any way you can by picking up trash and debris around your areas. Thank you.
One last announcement. There is a public meeting on Wednesday, April 3rd in the City Hall Council Chambers, and that is for the 2019 request for proposals for community development block grant. Wow, that's a big thing. And that is hosted by our Department of Redevelopment. So if you're interested in this non-for-profit, this is for non-for-profit agencies. If you're interested in this public meeting, it starts at 5 p.m. April 3rd. That's a Wednesday in the council chambers at City Hall. Well, we'd like to thank you for tuning in. This is Steve Segura for ECTV and WJOB, and we'll see you guys next time.
Thank you.